Well, a Canadian filmmaker is pitting today's star athletes against sports legends of the past. It's all to find out how the modern athletes stack up without modern equipment. It's a documentary called Champions versus Legends that will air on CBC's The Nature of Things on Sunday. Here's a preview.
Today's record holders are clearly superior to even the most famous legends of the past. But without their highly engineered equipment, who would win if today's athletes were to compete against champions of the past?
Okay, so who wins in these epic showdowns? Well, Robert Lang has the answer. He's the director of Champions versus Legends, and he joins us right now. I love this idea of pitting modern athletes against the legends of the past. Where did this idea come from?
Well, like many people, when you watch the Olympics or elite athletes doing their amazing performances, you wonder, why is it that every year records seem to be broken, they seem to be going faster and doing things in a superior way? And one of the things, obviously, I mean, there's training and there's physiology and there's, nutrition and things like that that are obvious. Those are harder to test, though, how different those are today than they were in the old days. But one thing that we could test is the gear. Not just the gear, but also the facilities on which they skate or they ski or they bobsled run. So we decided to put the champions of today in the gear of the old champions and see how they did. See what, whether they performed up to the old champions. We did one in the summer last year before the Summer Olympics. And we've done this one now with winter sports.
Which is amazing. Although we have to say you couldn't do every sport. So how did you go about choosing which sport to do the comparison in?
Well, yeah, of course. There were certain things that had to be played. We wanted a variety of sports, for one thing. We wanted sports that were comparable. So you had to be able to compare gear from one era to another. We had to be able to either make it or find it or refurbish it. So it's a big research project. And then we had to have the top-notch athletes who are willing to undergo the experiment.
We'll talk about the athletes in a second, but I wonder how difficult, how challenging was it to actually source old equipment or make old equipment to actually do this comparison?
Well, it was. It was very difficult. Each sport had a different requirement. In skiing, it was probably the easiest because we could source some 80s skis. And in fact, we were working with a legendary Mark Girardelli, who was a five-time world champion. And he brought his own skis, his own old skis. But he also raced in new skis. And the champion today, the Austrian champion, Manuel Fehler, went head-to-head with the old guy, with the old legend. So that was easier, but when it came to the bobsled, we had to refurbish an old bobsled from 1948 and put the German champions in the bobsled down the St. Moritz run.
And to exact specifications.
Exact specifications. We also did Bobby Hull's wooden stick, and we actually bent it exactly to his specifications. We found the old wooden stick of Bobby Hull at the Hockey Hall of Fame, and we measured it and came up with the exact curve that he would have given it. So each one had its own challenge. The skates that Christine Nesbitt skated in were very similar to the ones that Inga Artemanova from 1964 wore. Kind of flimsy leather, very different from what Christine Nesbitt was used to. The kind of foam injected, carbon, high-tech, form-fitting and supporting skate.
That's amazing. Now, you mentioned a couple of athletes there, but the athletes that we're going to highlight here, Shea Weber, Carter Hart, amongst those that actually underwent this challenge. Take a look at what happened here.
The speed of Shea Weber's fastest ever slap shot is also impressive.
He does there. 108.5.
But it's still much slower than Hull's reported speed. Was there something about Hull's technique or equipment that made him superior?
So that's the Shea Weber experience. What was the experience like for him?
Well, as you can imagine, Shea Weber didn't have to do this, this test. Well, he really, he was kind of really intrigued. He didn't know how he would do. He, of course, knew Bobby Hull, and he knew about the record of Bobby Hull, 118.3 miles per hour. And his record with a carbon fiber stick was just 108 point something.
Yeah.
So he was really intrigued. He wanted to try it out. He had never ever played with a wooden stick, actually. His are carbon fiber, and they're about that tall, long, and the wooden sticks are much shorter. And of course, the curve is very, very extreme in a wooden stick. So he was just intrigued by it and wanted to try it out. It was, kind of a fun project for him. And it was after the season was over, so he was kind of relaxed.
I love that. I love that. And, here we are just heading into Pyeongchang. What does this documentary experience teach you about what it takes to actually make an elite athlete?
Well, that's an interesting question because, in fact, when you watch the Olympics and you watch these athletes, you see them really, they've obviously had to dedicate a good part of their lives to what they do. They have to be very disciplined. They seem very serious to me. When they walk into the stadium at the beginning, of course, they're smiling.
Yeah.
But they're very serious athletes. And what surprised me is that each and every one of these athletes, and all champions, often world champions, world record holders, each and every one of them, when they took on this challenge of trying to beat the legends of the past, they were just like kids. They had a childlike quality of fun. They just love what they do. So, behind that, that's what drives them really. And all the discipline and all that comes out as a sort of applied on the good enjoyment that they have for their sport.
And tack on to that all this modern technology of training. Wonderful, Robert. Thank you for that.
Okay, well, thank you.